Welcome to the Do It All Dad Year podcast. What Gen X parents understand. Dad friendly entertainment for you and me. Controlling our kids' economy can make our kids great again. And this is episode 165 Divorce Immunity During Corona. Can I get a holla for another A plus headline hooker for the ages? Ah! I'm falling in love with wearing masks in public because I look more mysterious, like a Jewish preppy banker robber, giving me a much needed scary man edge. My daughter comes jumping into my arms and says, I'm sad because I'm scared about mommy divorcing you. I try to ease her nagging concern and say, no judge would kick me out of the house in the midst of the coronavirus outbreak. Hillary liquor or not. Can I get a holla for going back to the Hillary Hammertime Cankles bashing that never loses its lustful oomph? Holla! It kills me inside every time I hear from my kids, I'm bored. I'm bored, Daddy, because they've been spending limited time with Mama away from me while I try to make the online universe laugh for a living. Tired of saying, always knew. They were quick learners. Can I get another holla for a reframing of an A-plus punchline of yesteryear that still hits you where it counts and laughs at yanks that laugh at long time. This delivery needs improvement. Ah! What's wrong? I asked my daughter. She says, I found an old photo album and saw a picture. Were you really happy? I say, oh, that pic was taken when Mom and I used to live in Brooklyn. When Lena Dunham in much skinny arms wasn't so full of herself. What's wrong? I asked my daughter. She says, I found an old photo album and saw a picture where you're really happy. I say, oh, that pic was taken when Mom and I used to live in Brooklyn before Kevin Durant signed with the Brooklyn Nets to maintain his low-key Gen Y profile. What's wrong? I asked my daughter. Again, she says, I found an old photo album and saw a picture where you're really happy. I say, oh, that pic was taken when Mom and I used to live in Brooklyn before Durant signed with the Nets to control his social media narrative. What's wrong? I asked my daughter again. She says, I found an old photo album and saw a picture where you're really happy. I say, oh, that pic was taken when Mom and I used to live in Brooklyn before Kevin Durant had enough of Draymond Green's good luck timing. I like to feel an urge to pick up the phone when my dad calls, but I can't shake the feeling there's an agenda involved, like not showing my mother enough love on my birthday, or giving my brother a break for calling me a loser for writing 3 books in a year. It's my impersonation of China fuming at Australia for encouraging an investigation into the origins of the coronavirus outbreak. Off the record again. Fucking Australians. They're too good for bat soup, even if it's topped off with their precious sweet chili sauce, which we invented. China fuming at Australia for encouraging an investigation into the origins of the coronavirus outbreak. Off the record again. We're all not blessed with tall, erect spines and glistening white teeth who tan well. So if some spoiled Aussie dies, he dies. I love how my Chinese accent is like the exact replica of Drago. Again, this is China fuming at Australia for encouraging an investigation into the origins of the coronavirus outbreak. Off the record. Fucking Australians. They're just protectionist, racist, self-centered, egotistical, dumb, blonde Trump groupies who suck at golf. Voting is the lifeblood of democracy, Pelosi. Yeah, for registered Americans, not anyone who pushes for open borders and mail-in voting to stay in power in order to keep your chunky monkey freezer stash flush as can be, regardless of how many die on your watch, you twitchy bitch. Enough with you trying to protect the integrity of our elections, denture breath Pelosi. Putin has nothing on Trump, such as a fake news blackmail footage of Trump asking 2 Russian call girls to pee on each other. Trump's a notorious germaphobe bitch. Also, last time I checked, his second wife, Ivana, was more of a pearl necklace type. Vote by mail. How does that work exactly for illegals? Will the DNC just mail every illegal who gets a license at the DMV a return stamped envelope with a filled-in check mark for Democrat in Spanish and a picture of Nancy Pelosi's mountain of Puta? Can I get a holla for, I thought that was Punta, and I'm going to give thanks and praises to Google and for the Urban Dictionary for clarifying that actually punta is actually, you think it means pussy, but it actually means whore. But puta is the exact verbiage to use in this instance. So thank you very much, Google and Urban Dictionary. Long time. Holla! I'm on Adderall, I promise. Holla! Valerie Jarrett, Obama's live-in Arabian horse whisperer. Main pusher of the Iran nuke gifting deal. Google it. Insists Michelle Obama has no interest in the job of vice president. He isn't interested in being Obama's 5 o'clock shadow. Part 2. Hey, kiddo, I'm flowing. You got to get out of here right now. My audience, they have been anxiously awaiting this episode, okay? So I love you, but you got to vamoose. Oh, I'm just going to keep on flowing. First, Obama compares Trump to Hitler. This is an honor to you, kiddo. First, Obama compares Trump to Hitler. Relax. Sequels never live up to the original. Then, he pushes for amnesty for DACA through the meh power of his tweet. Then, on Earth Day, Obama insists climate change will wreak more havoc than the man-made coronavirus. After finally endorsing good old Joe with a gun pointed at his head by someone from George Soros and company, Obama's slipping, falling, and can't shut up. Can I get a holla for Yonkers, reared, born and raised, hip-hop legend, known for his killer flow and masterly growls, DMX, holla! A new female-centric Star Wars series from the creator of Russian Doll is coming out. Cool. Maybe now Obama can't convince Netflix to bring back the L word. He's your only hope. Can Pope Francis stop running his mouth about how he polluted the planet? Stop recycling pedophile priests from one parish to another, and you'll have a recycling bin pulpit to stand on worth listening to, Father. No offense. What's the civil thing to say to your younger brother after he fails to get you a birthday gift of any kind for a solid 40 years straight? We both blanked on our parents' 40th wedding anniversary, so you insisting on never birthday gifting me makes it a wash. The virtual realtor. Before we get to that, Louis C.K. made a donation to the Biden campaign only for it to be returned in a plastic bag containing Sarah Silverman's crusty old hoodie. Wheat shops shouldn't be essential places of business during the coronavirus, but what if you have a prescription for cancer? Fine, airdrop them ounces of ganj to hold them over on their doorstep, but this isn't the best time to exacerbate your stoner cough, dude. I'm sick of the from women whenever I post anything nice in their honor on social media. Why can't a man in this day and age give a sincere compliment or emotive homage without being branded as sappy gay about it? Mark Cuban's so deep. He says, once the coronavirus outbreak is over, we'll all be okay. Really? Even after the deep state, the DNC, and China's man-made virus failed to crater the economy forever, before or after Trump wins by a landslide in 2020. Bin Laden wanted to take out Obama so Joe Biden could take over because he was the dunce puppet. I'm calling fake news bullshit. Obama's nuke gifting Iran deal, Benghazi, and need to blame anti-Islam videos portraying ISIS as more than a JV squad prove otherwise. Richard Marx told Variety he'd rather have Jeffrey Dahmer, famous serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Richard Marx told Variety he'd rather have Jeffrey Dahmer in the White House than the big blonde wolf, because his following on Twitter dwarfs in comparison, and he can barely hold on through the night. He can't even score a cameo on the Goldbergs. Richard Marx charging Trump supporters of being brainwashed morons only has validity from the standpoint of him knowing Gen X kids were easily duped to watch his 2-hit videos in MTV that summer because the Beach Boys hadn't released Kokomo yet. Ruth Chris Steakhouse says it's repaying a small business federal loan. Big deal. So you recouped your expenditure on a gazillion tons of butter needed to make your overrated steaks appear more high-end scrumptious than Morton's Steakhouse. Yay! Elijah Wood is trending on Twitter. God forbid it be because John Podesta's pedo installation art work, enough to make Marilyn Manson blush, had some jail implicating consequences. Corey Feldman was stabbed right after he said he'd name names. Just saying. Dear God, you made me a long-winded Jew, not me. Still, I know my father could care what I have to say in my great American Jew novel, but it feels like he cares more about how his favorite son comes off instead. Call me crazy, but well-founded paranoid, Lord. Pretty please, with sugar on top. Dear God, just to be clear, I don't mean to disrespect thy father by passing on his request to read my great American Jew novel for feedback. Whenever I consider the fact I never asked for it in the first place. Cutting me off during my brother's wedding speech was enough. Sorry. Dear God, one last sore point. Why would my dad ask me if I've been watching The Last Dance miniseries on ESPN? I was the one who tore down my John Starks dunk poster in disgust when I watched mental toughness from our semi-reliable number 2 dissipate on the spot. Dear God, how much does my father refuse to accept my true being? If he's asking me questions about the NFL draft in the age of the Trump kiss-ass resistance, Eli is gone, and so is my heart in giving a shit anymore, and that's that. No offense. Dear God, again, I mean no disrespect to thy mother by pointing out how I'm tired of pretending my mother doesn't hate me for supporting Trump or my dogged desire to become a big deal American writer through me getting my book, The Great American Jew Novel, backed by a big deal publisher. Sorry. Dear God, I mean no disrespect to thy father and mother, but something smells rotten in Scottsdale, Arizona. If my father, after 23 years, wants to read my book, a gazillion spec scripts, pilots, blogs, podcasts later, no offense. Hate to be prickly about it. Coronavirus conversation with Dad. Are you still planning on taking your realtor exam? My guy went radio silent on me, Dad. Dad says, nobody's showing homes now. I say, you mean selling your main source of net worth with no income coming in isn't essential? What a jip. Goop is fake right-wing news too. If your wife knows you're a Trump supporter, she'll disagree with you on everything, even the need for a new kid's mattress. An avocado green mattress can make baby Samuel sleep in his bed all night for a change, babe. No, it won't. So Goop is right-wing fake news now too. I'm in favor of giving our baby girls, I got one daughter. I'm in favor of giving our daughter, Matilda Singing Rose, an HPV vaccine shot, but against my wife pushing melatonin gummies on my kids anymore. But it's organic, wrong. It's ambient for kids, minus the walking in their sleep because they're out for the count already. Pushing melatonin on your kids is absentee parenting. That's right, I said it's scary, mommy, swelling in sweats. It's not my fault you become less interesting and engaging on wine than me. Plus, don't act like your man insisted you get pregnant and fat either. My blog post, Sucking Off Scientists Again, totally triggered some Canadian blah brain. Her idea of incel comedy is calling anyone who doesn't worship scientists as Alex Jones fanboys. Alex Jones is an American original, unlike you, reeling Obama groupie. I love how Canadians who work in big tech think insulting our American education system means anything, especially if you didn't even attend McGill, which was a fucking safety school for pothead deadheads in my high school, to appear eclectic. I love the idea of letting go of expectations and ridding myself of all criticism, but then I'm just a boring, neutered husband puppy who got shamed into using aggressive truth language like the rest, and I'm not going out like that! Hey! Never criticize your wife, but what if she always criticizes you and calls you a spoiled loser in front of your kids, insisting your books are nothing to write home about? Should you praise her commentary as getting owned or burned good in front of your kids? We're going to continue this podcast in 2 seconds, folks. John Leguizamo is trending. Is Carlito's Way available on HBO Go now, or does he make a cameo on the Netflix doc on Hillary, Hammer Time Cankles as Super Mario to hammer all of her blackberries under subpoena. Biden would pick Michelle Obama as a running mate in a heartbeat. Not Oprah, Wanda Sykes, Angela Bassett, Whoopi Goldberg, Monique, Kerry Washington, Naomi Campbell, Vivica Fox, perhaps. At least she was married to a likable, relatable, fictional hero in Independence Day. Anyone who wishes harm to protesters pushing for city economies open again should require major social distancing once Trump wins in a major landslide in 2020. It's not my fault you decided to back a Chinese puppet little girl hair sniffer. Sucking off scientists again. Let the scientists lead. Make some CIA-approved designer acid and drop it in the water coolers at CNN, and we'll really see Brian Stelter cry for forgiveness for absolving China of all evil doing in front of his maker. Trump ignored the scientists. Which scientists exactly? Jeff fucking Goldblum in a remake of The Fly, where Steve-O tempts him to eat bat soup in one of his cloning experiments with Count fucking Dracula cereal made in China? I'm so tired of the left propping up scientists like gods as they frame still your president, Trump, as the Bible-humping hick from Appalachia who refuses to acknowledge logic or reason. Scientists aren't kicking MS-13 out of your neighborhood either. Let the scientists lead. Yeah. To follow the payoff money trail back to the Great Wall, to remain hush-hush, but the super organized, never sketchy, always honest, intellectual property theft is their middle name Chinese. Enough with Trump ignored the scientists. It's not quantum physics. China spreads the virus, locks its citizens at home with crowbars, yet intentionally downplays the severity of its biochemical warfare, insisting it ain't nothing but a duck wing on a string. Scientists should lead, not Trump. Why not let non-elected political scientists who have Ann Coulter sign their Bibles to get them in the mood to debate chaos theory in relation to open borders and her PMS flaring next time Israel is mentioned during Trump's State of the Union address? Blaming China does no good. It only hurts the hand that feeds us, says CNN, Apple, Facebook, the NBA, Microsoft, Hunter Biden's cocaine slush fund provider. Let the scientists lead. What are the scientists going to do besides not locate a Big Dipper between President Xi zipper made in China? Can I get a holla for a old school, truly tasteless jokes premise about the Chinaman's appendage between his legs that still works in a very super smart way? Holla! This constant scientist suck-off fest has to stop. Wife pitches me a scientifically proven guided meditation to unclog my chakras. She heard it on NPR. I say, does Bill Gates do it? Because siding with China isn't achieving higher consciousness, babe. The Larry King replacement bus. Get to that in a sec. NFL owners believe there will be football with or without fans. So business as usual then. What's the difference between Taylor Swift, J-Lo, and Beyonce? Kanye West wouldn't fuck any of them with Michelle Obama's dick. What was Piers Morgan bitching about on CNN today? Let me guess. Trump stopped following him on Twitter because he called Piers a Prince Harry licker? Or was it because Trump is closer to the Queen than the failed Larry King replacement bus will ever be? Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher launched a quarantine wine. I thought she was a spokesperson for Jim Beam because Kid Rock already owns a Gulfstream. Whatever it takes for Ashton to get up for banging a teenage-looking boy compared to Demi again. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher really did just launch their own quarantine wine. It won't take the edge off watching the Tiger King's boy toy blow his brains out, but it will get you in the mood for streaming some more marvelous Miss Maisel and talking real fast in no time. Marriage tip. Never accuse your wife who claims to abandon her dream of becoming a professional photographer to be a nurse that her pictures with her high-resolution smartphone are murky. Blame your overpriced Google phone I bought for your birthday, babe. Trump will lose in a landslide because Americans will be voting for their lives, Rob Reiner. You let your son become a homeless crackhead. Didn't Al Franken joke about your father's friends raping you? Isn't Biden the Chinese control puppet? Has been breath. Obama ruined everything. Nikki Sixx identifies as a snowflake now. Weird Week Howard claims he was only a shock jock asshole for the ratings. Michael Jordan sweats social media reactions to him punching Steve Kerr despite him not being woke yet. MJ being a ruthless killer winner who led by example shouldn't be a newsflash a gazillion years later. He had to go through the bad boys and dominate Ewing, Magic, Bird, and Hakeem to become the GOAT. Not to pass off to Ray Allen and team with D. Wade. Who cares if MJ punched Steve Kerr? He also choked Reggie Miller and had Charles Oakley to protect him no matter what, or had Sir Charles on window pushing through detail at the bar if he lost large on darts and refused to pay up. My mom sends me a birthday card that says it doesn't lecture, advise, or disapprove. Can I send a fake news bullshit thank you note in return, or should I be happy my mom showed smug self-awareness for a day before she resumes hating me supporting Trump again? This is the Do It All Dad Year podcast, dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. Controlling our kids' economy can make our kids great again, and I'll talk to you guys soon.